If you're seeing Borg on your main view screen, who are you gonna call? Borg Busters. This is officially the 100th video on this channel. Officially. Although in reality, it is the 102nd, as I deleted 2. I take this moment to reflect, and I think, had I just waited, I could have used AI to make videos and record narrative tracks. Instead, I spend long days feeding the fiery furnaces of Blender and talking into a microphone. In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. But before we kill the headlights and put it in neutral, can we work up some monkey magic? Star Trek Deep Space Nine brought us Bajorans, stable wormholes, the Dominion, religion, war, a space station and Cardassian architecture, a more detailed look at the Ferengi, and runabouts. It also gave us the Defiant NX 74205, lead ship of her class. One question I find myself asking is, could the Defiant land on a planet? Was she equipped with landing gear? If Voyager could land, then surely the Defiant could. In this video, we will ponder this question. The aardvark of Star Trek, the Defiant broke the starship design rules. She dispensed with nacelle supports and drew the warp nacelles into the main body, like a boxer in the boxing ring. An ugly little starship. But in the Star Trek universe, where elegant starships explored the final frontier and extended the hand of friendship, the pure warship could not be anything other than brutal in appearance. And yet, the Defiant in Star Trek Deep Space Nine was maneuverable and fast, and visually, she had her own points of interest. Armed with pulse phaser cannons, quantum torpedoes, and ablative armor, this escort ship was originally to be called the Valiant. It was decided, however, that the name might be confused with Voyager by the audience. Just how Valiant and Voyager could be confused by Star Trek fans is a puzzle. These are Star Trek fans we're talking about. They don't mistake the original series Defiant with the DS9 Defiant, even though they share the same name. So why would they mistake Valiant for Voyager? The name chosen instead was Defiant. Although a Defiant-class starship called Valiant did later make an appearance and was not mistaken for Voyager. Star Trek naming conventions being somewhat enslaved to the needs of the story and therefore somewhat random, we might have been over-optimistic to assume some logic. Certainly, we got the Defiant and the Valiant, names that are thematically related, as well as similar in construction. Had this continued, we might have revisited the name Reliant, and enjoyed such classics as Vigilant, Brilliant, Resilient, Expedient, Salient, Strident, Trident, and even Miscreant and Truant, both of which have undoubtedly been real-world warship names, although I suspect the writers and producers would have balked at their use. We could also have had Truculent, Belligerent, Valorous, Courageous, Audacious, Daring, Fearless, Dauntless, Intrepid, and even Gallant, all names with similar meaning to both Defiant and Valiant, a few of which, Fearless, Dauntless, and Intrepid, have indeed found their way into the Star Trek fleet. Instead, when a third Defiant class made its appearance, we got the Sao Paulo, which was then renamed Defiant, or, as I like to think of her, the Defiant A. There were many opportunities for the Defiant to land on a planet over the course of DS9, but we did not see this happen. The Defiant remained in orbit. This might be taken as evidence for a lack of landing gear, but absence of evidence is not necessarily equal to evidence of absence. The producers had only enough of a budget. The Master System's display of the Defiant has what could be interpreted as landing gear, but then the Master System's display of the Enterprise D has a duck, so how much we can rely on the MSD is open to question. The Defiant was relatively flat compared to, say, the Enterprise, and whilst her nacelles and deflector are lower than the main body of her hull, they are not so much lower. The compact nature of the Defiant does not exclude her from entering a planet's atmosphere. It also does not exclude the Defiant from landing. In theory, therefore, the design of the Defiant supports the inclusion of landing gear. The best location would be inside this rim. The hull is thicker here, and there is more space for storing retracted landing legs. As I pointed out earlier, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. We never saw the captain's yacht of the Enterprise D, and yet we suppose that it existed. There was nothing in the Defiant's design to preclude her from having landing gear. And yet, over the course of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the Defiant did not land.